On tonight's episode, we're going to be talking a lot about Fallout Season 2, Episode 8, the final episode of Season 2.
We have a new single-player TTRPG from Modiphius. It's id Software's 35th anniversary, and Wolfenstein 3 is coming, eventually.
We have Season 2, Episode 8, the final episode of Season 2. And
Yes.
it's called The Strip. And man, did it go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard one to follow at times. Especially when you're taking notes.
Yes. Yeah, I'd ask Mrs. Kilo to pause it a couple times for me.
Yeah,
but
I did do that a lot too.
Right off the rip, we got a big answer about this Legion.
Yep. Weren't they just in like episode 1 and then they just disappeared?
We didn't see a whole lot of them after the ghoul rescued Lucy.
With all the hoopla about Macaulay Culkin being on the show, I thought they would have him in more than what they did. But
well, he's going to be in more now.
Yeah, clearly. Unless they kill him off in the beginning of Season 3.
Right, you never know. But yeah, the battle between the two different factions of the Legion
The
going
Legion
down.
Civil War.
Yeah.
And then we got Macaulay Culkin's character. Yep.
Yeah.
Grabbing the corpse to drag it back. And his team is clearly winning.
Mm-hmm.
His team, you know what I mean, his army.
His army, yeah.
And when he reads the note inside the camp with one of the Legionnaires with him, it just says basically that the Legion dies with me. There was no name there. There was no successor.
I am the Kaiser. I am the Legion. It ends with me.
For lack of a better name, Macaulay, because I don't know his character name, decides to go ahead and eat it and kill the only witness and take power for himself. And the acting for him eating that paper looked very fake. Sorry, but it did.
In a way, I did kind of call it. Because I did say previously that Macaulay would be the Kaiser.
I did. That was me, man.
You did. I did too. We both did.
Yeah, and I cracked up.
No, I was gonna. You're probably about to talk about the same thing I was. Go ahead.
About Caesar's Palace?
Yeah. We were planning to take the strip. Build me a Kaiser's Palace.
For those of you who are been under a rock, that's a famous hotel in Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace.
Mm-hmm.
To claim the Holy Land they call Vegas.
Yes.
I'm curious why they even call it the Holy Land, though. What made it holy to them?
That's actually a really great question. Is it just because it's like a central seat of power in the Mojave?
Maybe.
It's the largest metropolitan area.
Maybe the original Caesar, not Kaiser, jeez, it drives me nuts, was from there, grew up there? I don't know.
Possibly.
Well, all we know is that they're marching on Vegas now.
Yes, they are. And we go back to the Lucky 38, the house. Yeah. Mr. House and the Ghoul.
One thing I thought was very interesting about this little conversation was House referring to a player character when he was talking about how his body kept on being targeted. And he said about the different means being targeted.
Yeah, crowbar, got shot.
It almost looked like a nod to the player character.
It felt like it might have been. You know, they've been pretty staunch about keeping this, about not making an ending canon.
Yeah.
And if it is, this would be the first nod towards a player character in the entire show so far. So I am curious about that. What House says about that is, what did I tell you when we first met? The house always wins. And the Ghoul's like, yeah, well, winning might be overrated. And he's threatening to shoot the diode.
Yeah, putting his gun in the door. The pretty badass gun, by the way.
What happens when I shoot this thing? How about destroying planets?
And then he basically forces the Ghoul to wear a Pip-Boy. Especially designed for House to be present. And yeah, I called it. I said that House was going to be in the system now. as a robot, basically, and that's what he is.
He says, everyone works for me eventually.
He's now a AI. I don't know if he'd be an artificial intelligence. That'd be it.
Oh, there's a debate for you.
Yeah, that'd be a good debate, actually.
According to the Halo franchise, he would be an AI. Because that's basically what Cortana is a replication of Dr. Halsey's brain. And House, in this case, would be a replication of House's brain.
Valid, but that's just one argument to that.
That's true.
Artificial.
What would you call it?
Artificially created. So,
right.
Human brain's not artificially created.
Well, what would you, if you had to give it a name, what would you call it?
Digital intelligence.
Or digital essence. The strip, the three amigos, the death claws.
Yep. It's down to the two amigos right now, and of course, Thad coming in with holding his detached arm and trying to shuffle around this rifle. He is the comic relief. The guy is so great. Funny. And I'm afraid what they're going to do to him in season 3. I know. They didn't progress his disease any further, but he was in his way as a little minor hero in this, and the guy was great.
Yeah, he was 100%.
And when Maximus did the superhero pose right at the beginning of fighting the first Deathclaw, that was so corny.
Weapons activated. Hot dog.
My note was just Max discovering all the toys of his armor.
Yeah, so fun.
With all of these Deathclaws escaping. Holy crap, there's a lot of them.
I lost count.
I think there was something like 10 or 12 that I saw. There could be
something
more.
Like that. We got the people they're closed up inside of the shop. We got to do something. Look at them out there. Nah.
Nah, we're good. They didn't start betting on him yet, though.
No, not yet. That's a little bit later. We go back to Lucy and Congresswoman Welsh. Diane Welsh, head in the jar.
They did such a good job of making that head look super freaking creepy.
Oh, they so did. I actually wrote down creepy in my notes, too.
Mm-hmm. In that whole kill me trope. Every time you see something like that in any movie or show, they're always begging to be killed. End it now.
Well, to be fair, it's usually pretty horrific.
Yeah,
when they get to that point.
I wouldn't want to be a head used as a processor. Mm-mm.
But she said, kill me, stop him.
So Lucy does. But her comment about, why does everyone always want me to kill them?
Oh, man. The 31 crew.
Yeah. And giving Norm a fair trial. Really? It's America, after all. Dude, it hasn't been America in a long time.
And Claudia's trying to defend him. Ronnie throws her against the elevator, hits the button. The empty shaft opens up. Yeah. The roach attack.
They had to include a red shirt into this. That lady who looks down the elevator well.
Yeah.
I don't see any. Yep, she's dead. The second she did that. And those who don't know, the red shirts always die in Star Trek.
Everybody takes off running. Norm's fighting. They're trying to get to this room and close the door. And here's the ironic thing, is that Ronnie stops to push Norm out of the room, which keeps the door open longer.
Mm-hmm.
One roach gets in, hits Ronnie, then all the roaches rush into the room, leaving Norm alone.
If they would have just left Norm in there, or let him in there, they would have been fine.
Yep.
They could have closed that door, barricaded it, and been fine. But no, their fair trial was to leave him out there to the roaches, and it did not work in their favor.
No, that went bad real quick. So we go back to Ghoul and House, and he starts talking about their investors.
Mm-hmm.
And the demon in the snow, of course, the Deathclaw that Cooper saw in Alaska.
I found that very interesting when you said that, how that vault does not belong to Vault-Tec. It belongs to their investors. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying earlier. Is like, even though there was a Vault-Tec symbol on there, I knew it was not theirs. And they were not involved in that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we found out during this episode that this fifth player, this unknown player, was in fact the Enclave.
Then we go back to Maximus killing the Deathclaw. We see the King's Corner briefly in this fight. He's getting good, but then he's also getting his butt kicked. We got people betting. Thaddeus is trying to get everybody's attention, like waving his arm.
Of course, it makes you
in
think
the air.
He's gonna make him stop, but no, I knew better than that.
Until he drops the arm on the ground, then everybody falls quiet. 500 Cap says he wins. You don't have that kind of money.
He starts shaking his pants like, of course he does. He was harvesting them for months.
We see a brief glimpse of Lucy walking, looking extremely distressed, and it cuts back to Ghoul and House, talking about an invisible adversary and their acolytes being right here in this very building.
Constantly outclassed by someone.
And then, of course, appropriately, we cut directly back to Hank and Lucy. He said, Robert wanted to make people into machines. I was only trying to add a little personality to his product. He said, and Lucy says, the Congresswoman's personality? Daddy's job is complicated. And goes back to House.
Completely did not put anything in my notes about that.
No. I got you.
Yep.
And it goes back to House. It says the Enclave's eyes are everywhere.
Mm-hmm. He made a comment about them being robots. And I kind of find it amusing because he's a robot himself now, in a way.
Yeah, that is kind of funny, actually. And we go back to pre-war Cooper and Barb.
Stephanie.
Talking about going to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And then I think Cooper suggests Colorado.
Yeah, let's get as far away from here as possible. Let's go to Colorado.
Yeah. And then, sure enough, Henry and Stephanie married. So, yeah, they get congratulations. They call it, it is a true Las Vegas story.
Yep.
To go to Las Vegas, meet a fantastic individual you probably met intoxicated, and then go and get married to them.
Yep. So that made a whole new level to this, the fact that Hank and Steph were married.
Yeah.
Which, of course, they get into more detail about that later on, and it's used.
Mm-hmm. And as they're walking through, all the phones start ringing, like all of them. And then you see the Ghoul walking, because he's remembering all this. Mm-hmm. And then you see Lucy and Hank again saying miniaturization is the wave of the future, which is super interesting because that's the thing that's not in the Fallout games. The whole point is that the miniaturization of electronics is why, or the lack thereof within the Fallout universe, is why it's all vacuum tubes and, this old retro technology.
To be able to go that small, they would have to figure out the microchip.
Which is basically what Hank's talking about here. Mm-hmm. And he basically says that he's basically saying he's going to put the microchip on Lucy.
And you can't tell anymore without seeing a little scar.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, you'll be my little girl again. And the evil look, I really got to hand it to Kyle MacLachlan in this episode. His acting in this episode is top. It is so good. And it's all in his eyes. This evil look that Hank gives her. Mm-hmm. And she says, "You're insane."
Yeah,
you don't mean that.
Insane.
And she ends up hitting the dude with the crowbar because the other guy, the former Legion, walks in to manhandle her.
And when the Ghoul steps into that vault, that is one massive bunker, like seriously massive.
Yeah, it's freaking huge. So we go back. He's subfloor 7, I believe, is what House is pointing him towards, where his family is supposedly at. And we go back to Maximus getting smoked.
Yeah.
If he loses, we're all dead, right?
With Thaddeus figuring out how to help him.
Yeah.
Sniping with his foot.
You got to give it to Maximus. He is Quarry Junction material here. And I'm pretty sure it's every Deathclaw from Quarry Junction on the strip at this point. Thaddeus coming in, and he takes one shot, helps him out. He's like, I got to reload. And then we jump back to Lucy.
With the Ghoul showing up just in time to save her ass again.
Yep. And he ends up capping the dude that was trying to restrain her. And the funniest part, I laughed out loud at this, Hank gets shot in the ass.
Yep.
If it were up to me, it would be your... Yeah. It wouldn't be your ass bleeding all over the floor. But it ain't up to me. What do you say, Volty? And this is where Lucy really has to make a decision. And I think this is what Ella was talking about in a previous interview. About something that she does that's really, really messed up. We go back to Max.
Messed up.
Well, I don't necessarily think. Well, the implications of what it was later. But in the meantime, we go back to Maximus.
Hold on. We're not done with that yet.
No, because it comes up later. I was going to continue it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to continue it. We're coming back to it, I promise. Maximus is getting messed up, thinking of his family, and his dad saying, "One day you will be a good man." And this is, I was hyped when this happened. Maximus gets out of the suit. 2 more Deathclaws. He picks up like a roulette wheel and like a pool cue or something.
Yeah, pool cue.
Like a like a
He picked up the pull
Spartan.
cue, which is important
Yeah.
because that's actually a very valid weapon that can often be found legendary in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76.
It's also in Fallout 3. It is a weapon found in the game, a pool cue, which is
Mhm.
amazing that they added that. But just like the Spartan mentality and the like, he's like, this ain't gonna go down. This ain't gonna work. But he's gonna make his last stand, this heroic last stand to try to save these people. And the bartender finally grabs a shotgun and said, "Let's take our town back." And there's some dude's like, "I'm not doing that."
That was a lady. No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. And all of a sudden, the first Deathclaw gets shot. Max looks up at Thaddeus. Oh my God! Thaddeus shakes his head. The camera pans over. It's an NCR Ranger with the 50 cal, like the beginning of New Vegas. I legit
Yes.
screamed at the TV.
They took it
I,
directly
jumped up.
from the intro for New Vegas. Instead of shooting, it was a Legionnaire.
It was a Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
shooting
shooting
a
Deathclaw. Yeah, and it's
and
a
they
slow
framed
mo.
it. If you put it side by side,
Yep.
like that, they framed it almost identical to the video game shot.
Yeah. Dude, I was so excited. I was like jumping upside down. I'd have my wife pause it so I could explain it to her. I'm like, that's from the beginning of New Vegas. It's freaking amazing. You don't understand how badass that is.
When you were posting that shot all over socials, I was like, okay, yeah, this has got to be something about the show.
Yep. Everybody liked that.
It made sense after I watched it.
Now, here's something we haven't seen the entire season. NCR soldiers showing up in force.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we got it from here.
Yeah,
Maximus says, yeah, it's probably a good idea. Now we can go back to Lucy and Hank, Wigit.
Before that, though, what I was trying to get at, the ghoul freaking slipped her a freaking noisy cricket.
Oh, yeah, the boot gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the holdout pistol. It was just like a noisy cricket from Men in Black.
From Men in Black? Yeah.
It cracked me up when she's holding it. That's like, it's a Fallout version of it. And I was going to say, the ghoul is by far the best character in this entire show. And I'll have more on that later on, but...
Yeah, 100%. They're coming out of Lucky 38. Lucy has a remote in her hand, and Hank has a chip in his head. He stands there, he says, "You don't get views like this in the vault. You know, I spent my whole life dreaming about coming to the surface one day. I was almost looking forward to going back to the vaults with you."
Well, it was Lucy that said she dreamt about going to the surface with him all her life.
Yeah. He says, "We're not going back, are we?" And then Lucy says, "I guess the surface changes a person."
Yeah, which was something they've been kind of really hitting home the entire second season. About what it's doing to her.
Yes. It's been progressively more intense. And
he talks about how he sent off R&D out in the Wasteland with the latest model, which he points to himself in that, which is those microchips.
He says, "The Legion is coming and they'll massacre everyone here. You know that. With my help, you can stop them." But Lucy's definitely done buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Well, then I'm going to turn you into the father I thought you were. And you lied to me my whole life." Yeah, and that's when he says, "Yeah, you think this is the real world. The surface is the experiment, not the vaults."
Yeah, surface was the experiment. That's the line that got me thinking a lot.
Yeah.
Then he brings up the fact that they're going to be following orders written for them centuries ago. Yeah, Enclave.
Before she can ask
warnings.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Enclave has been a major figure in the series for a long time. I feel like this has taken them to another level, though.
Yeah.
The TV show. He says, "I love you, Sugar Bomb," and he ends up having a remote. He hits the button on himself before she can.
I'm wondering if that remote only did himself or if it hit a lot more people.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I was wondering as well. If there's all these people out in the Wasteland, then what else did he activate?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is another part where I thought Kyle just did amazing. Is his dead eyes at this part as he reboots. "Miss, you have another little smudge. You know, can I get that for you? Whatever." Has no idea who she is, and she has no idea what she's doing next. As she gets up, looks back, looks around, no idea. She's at this point. Her whole purpose was to find her father, and then it was to find her father and bring her father to justice. But now, essentially, her father's gone, and she has no idea what to do. But
I don't think
here comes back.
I'll get that at the end of this.
Okay, we got Maximus. They're united. There was many happy there was many happy claps from Mrs. Kilo.
Was there?
She was all like, oh, it was cute.
Mrs. Wigit was busy dealing with Mini Widget.
Oh, I see. So yeah, now we got Stephanie in the office.
Yep, opening the case. And I was so hoping that it was going to be empty and that Betty had stolen it and swapped it with something mundane.
No, that would not have done it. That would not have been okay. Because what we actually see is an Enclave Pip-Boy.
The first thing I noticed when that case opened up was the emblem.
Yep.
Which I learned all about that from Fallout 76.
And she says, this is Stephanie Harper, Hank McClane's wife. If you can hear this, initiate phase 2. So this wasn't just for 31. And we talked about, and Hank was talking about how all these sleeper agents with the microchip have orders from 2 centuries ago. We see EDE rise up out of the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, which is where Vault Zero in the Colorado Rockies. Enclave base.
What's interesting about this whole scene, though, is that they're clearly receiving her transmission. But that doesn't mean they're going to do anything about it yet. Just that it's been acknowledged and that it was redacted. And they also show Norm's broadcast he did, as well as Hank's original broadcast when he got to the facility.
Right.
And that doesn't
the implication...
mean, it doesn't mean they're doing anything with it. It could just be lost on a server. But...
It could.
The implication was strong there, but I don't think they're going to initiate phase 2. I think season 3 is going to be a lot to do about the whole phase 2 thing and how they're going to try. The ghoul is going to basically stop it from happening. Yeah,
maybe, but we also have to keep in mind that Ron Perlman's character may or may not be Marcus.
Oh, there's a big thing about that.
There's a war coming.
I'll get that later, but yeah. I have a whole list of notes, almost as long as the show notes itself, from everything I thought about at the end.
We go back to Norm.
Yeah, that was freaking gross, man.
That was beautiful. The whole room. I thought Claudia was dead. Claudia's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Says, let's get you home. Norm puts her on a cart.
They're going to be such a cute couple.
Yeah.
Well, Claudia's really pretty, so good for you, dude.
Yeah. Good catch. Then we go back to the Ghoul house. He says, with the Enclave still out there, there is no safety.
Yeah, and this whole episode was a massive, massive look at the new protagonist. Everyone thought it was going to be Khaos, but it's not. Or Hank, but it's not. They're just players in a bigger game.
Absolutely. Well, we go back to pre-war when Cooper answers the phone, and Khaos said, I wanted you to know that it wasn't me. I told you there are far worse people than I. Then we see Barb. We see the cryo chambers with the Barbara's and Janie's name on it. Gould tells Howard to open it, or Gould tells Cooper, fucking Christ, how about he tells Khaos to open it?
Mm-hmm.
And right there, as it was open, I'm like, it's going to be fucking empty.
Oh, yeah.
Bet.
I saw this, what looked like fluid, like oil or something like that, coming from his daughter's cryo chamber, and it looked like it's been used. So I was fully expecting those two to be empty.
What a shame. You bet on hope. And then Cooper, pre-war, is approached by the Un-American Activities Committee. He's basically arrested for being a communist.
Yeah,
and
he gave the diode to the president.
Right. And when the Ghoul looks inside of Barbara's cryopod, he finds a postcard. Mm-hmm. Colorado was a good idea.
And at this point, he's completely convinced that they're alive.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. We don't know how long ago those cryopads were opened. It could have been shortly after the war. They could be long dead.
That's true. But the thing I'm wondering about is if they were divorced, we still don't have confirmation that they divorced. If they were divorced, if it was to save Barbara's image, make her look more innocent that she divorced him, if there wasn't other planning going on before the war happened. The Ghoul does say here, for the first time in 200 long-ass years, I know my family is alive. And he takes off the Pip-Boy. We have business.
The Legion on the move. We're going to get that NCR versus Legion showdown coming up in Season 3. Lucy and Max, they wind up finding House's room, his little penthouse. And it was very interesting, the fact that the monitor said lost signal. or signal lost, and no longer says no signal.
Because Khaos isn't in the computer, he's in the Pip-Boy.
No, he's in the computer. He's
in the computer?
He's doing that because people came into his area. Because you see briefly, he blinks on the screen.
Oh, does he really? Max. I must have missed that.
It's a very brief glimpse. You can see Khaos pop in and out. So I think he found himself 2 new pawns, and he was just hiding, waiting for his moment.
Very interesting. And we got the ghoul out in the wasteland, looking at the Rockies in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
He's got dog meat with him.
And that's going to be a fun storyline, I think.
Yeah, I think it will, too.
I would have loved to have seen the 3 amigos sticking together further, but that's not going to be the case, I don't think.
There's got to be a reason if we're going to see them together again for Lucy and Maximus to then head east after the ghoul.
I don't know why they would. They have too much to deal with going on currently in New Vegas.
Possibly, unless they're trying to get, just for instance, just throwing it out there, to the Commonwealth. If they're trying to get to the Commonwealth Brotherhood, which they may have to, because there was a post-credits scene.
Yep, and thank you for bringing that up by when you texted me to make sure you watched the post-credits, because I was getting ready to actually turn it off, and then Miss Widget was like, didn't Kilo tell you to watch the post-credits? Like, oh, crap, yeah. Continued it. We
open up on a Brotherhood medical tent. There's explosions. 100% looks like something out of the TV show MASH. We got Dane.
Lot more gory.
Yeah, Dane walking through. We see Quintus, who's not looking his best.
Quintus the
Here's the remnants.
Is dead. Quintus the Destroyer is born.
And what the remnants were that he pulls out of the map tube were blueprints.
Yep.
For Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime Alpha. Big distinction there.
It is. I'm curious to see what comes of that. And, is it something they're going to try to construct? Because Liberty Prime was in Fallout 3, and then it was brought back in Fallout 4, but they needed you actually have to track down an Institute scientist to get Liberty Prime before the big final battle of the game. So I'm curious, what does this mean? Are they going to build it? Are they going to try to find it? Is it
well, it's a blueprint, somewhere? So I'm assuming they're trying to build it. Or
that was my first thought too.
And just needs the final plans.
Possibly. So it looks like Quintus is going to war with Liberty Prime in Season 3. Well, why don't we get into what we're thinking about for Season 3?
Clearly, Hank was working for the Enclave, or was trying to. I thought originally it was going to be Khaos.
Yeah.
After the first episode, but it's clearly he's a part of the Enclave. And I'm wondering, one of the big things I was wondering about this is they mentioned a couple times throughout the season that Vault-Tec gave away, I don't know if they gave away, but they gave some vaults to their partners
to do what they want.
I'm wondering if Vault 31, 32, and 33 was enclaves.
Considering that Hank and Stephanie were both in there, that's a good question.
And that had nothing to do with actual Vault-Tec. But then the question goes in as to why. We're not clear on that yet. However, a lot of the things I'm thinking about is if Phase 2 does get initiated, and the fact they were teasing at FEV earlier, if that has a lot to do with those vaults and an FEV experiment.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, and I had a big blurb going on about the only game to feature Colorado is Fallout Tactics, Brotherhood of Steel.
Yes.
And yet, could Colorado be the main setting for Fallout 5? Not likely, but possible. And Enclave location looks like it could be very well be in the Colorado Rockies. Yeah.
It could. Because
that's what I was going to say.
Mean, again, it does lend to the idea that Bethesda is reworking the lore that the previous developers came up with. Mm-hmm. Because Fallout Tactics wasn't just Colorado, it was also a bunch of cities in the Midwest, Chicago, a couple of other places out that direction, headed east.
Yeah, but it was the only game that featured Colorado.
Yes, that's true. But my idea is that they may be using the show to continue east.
Yeah.
So we may start with the ghoul in Colorado in Season 3, but I got a lot of questions about where it's going to end up.
That's why I was saying quite a few episodes ago that I was thinking that Fallout 5 is going to be based off of an eastern city, like Boston.
Right.
In particular, have to do with the Commonwealth.
I mean, and that would make sense for Bethesda to tell the showrunners, stay away from X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. So are they staying away from X, Y, and Z because those were already in Fallout 3 and 4? Are we bringing that back in 5? So we want to avoid that. It's curious.
Yeah. And it looks like the show has been really starting to point the finger that Enclave was responsible for the nukes in some extent.
Yeah, that they were the puppet master.
And clearly because that group of idiots from Fallout 31 were part of the Enclave. Whether they probably didn't know they were, but...
Right. But some of them obviously had some kind of idea. But Ronnie was the one that brought up Phase 2.
And I don't think we're done with Hank, because he's not dead.
No.
He's white for now. We don't know what will happen if that chip gets removed, if they survive it or not, and if his memories come back. So I don't think they're going to take him out of the show. And we're going to be focusing a lot on 2 wars in Season 3. The Legion versus NCR and for New Vegas, and the Brotherhood, the Civil War.
The Civil War and the Brotherhood, yeah. Yep.
And the NCR is heavily outnumbered in this, but they do have the advantage having the high ground by already occupying New Vegas. It's a lot harder to besiege a place than it is to defend a siege.
And the NCR is arguably better equipped.
Yeah.
And better trained. So we'll see how that turns out.
And I'm beginning to think more and more that Cooper and Ghoul are the main character of the show.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it right now, doesn't it?
They put a lot of focus on him in Season 2. He's just badass, and yeah. I think it's because the fans love him.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing I caught...
It's like...
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, it's kind of like Daryl Dixon in The Walking Dead. He wasn't even a part of the comics, but the writers wrote him in, and he was so well received that they ended up... he's got his own damn show. There's like a spin-off.
I don't know if you caught this, but during the credits, they show a billboard, the Take Your Family to Colorado billboard. And it shows a family of 3, a mom, dad, and a daughter. And the more interesting thing on that billboard, what was hanging off of it, on the bottom right, was a super mutant body bag.
I missed that. I saw the body bags. I missed what the billboard said. Oh, that feels very obvious now that you pointed that out.
And I'm wondering if the calculator is going to be involved with Vault Zero, or if they're just going to not bother with Vault Zero.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of... With the Congresswoman, it kind of like the Enclave is known for a lot of their facilities being run by artificial intelligence.
Yeah, and the interesting about the calculator...
That's a good question, man.
...is the fact that he was... this is all things I read. I didn't know about this before. He was using human brains for processing power.
Which is what we saw with the Congresswoman.
It was not really a true AI. Exactly, that's what we saw with the Congresswoman. That made me wonder about that. That's all I got.
That's all we got.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a show.
That it does, my friend. Next episode, we are obviously not going to be talking about a TV show unless it comes up in news. We'll be getting back into our gameplay and more news and goodies about Bethesda. Back to your normal, regularly scheduled program.
We don't know when yet. We're going to get HB back on the show because we said we're going to get her back after Season 2 ended.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to that. I'm sure we'll be doing more with King Fan Man into the future and just keep doing our show, man. Keep you guys informed. Keep you guys entertained.
How we roll. And how can they find us if they want to, join our Discord, the place to be, and things like that?
Well, if they were so inclined, they would probably go to our link tree. That's the best way to do it. That's linktr.ee/wyrdkhaosmedia. Wyrd is spelled WYRD. Chaos with a K, media. And if you want to email us for business, advertising, or other, it's wyrdkhaosmedia@gmail.com.
Please like and subscribe to our YouTube. We really appreciate it. You can hit that little bell icon if you want to know about when our next show comes up immediately, our next episode. And the 5-star reviews on iTunes and Spotify are also a massive help for our audio version. And we thank you guys who have done that. And if you haven't,
absolutely,
why not?
Yeah, and actually, if you haven't, if you subscribe to our YouTube, you can see our posts and Wigit being fabulous.
Totally. Fabulous.
I told you I was going to use that damn picture.
Yep.
Told you.
I know. I knew it was coming. You had to AI induce it, too. All right, guys.
Makes it funnier.
Thank you so much for listening. And like always, have an amazing week out in the Bethesdaverse.
Peace out.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to... I did it again, dude. I almost said Starfield.
Right in the title at the top of the notes.
I know, right? Something I could easily just look at. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bethesda Unpatched. This is episode number 32. I had to glance at my notes to remember the number. So in the audio version, I like to do audio outtakes and throw them at the end.
It's 31. It's episode.
Is it 30? Oh, my God. Redo. I didn't even see that. Why does it say episode 32 in there?
I don't know. God, I don't know. Who does the majority of the notes? I don't know who would have done that.
Take 3.